Hey, friends, thanks for joining. Let's begin standing. Have your feet any comfortable width, and just begin to make some movements with your hips, some circular movements with your hips. Begin to notice your breath here as well. At first, just breathing freely through your nose. And go the other direction. All right, then, like you're doing the backstroke, make a big circle, backward circle with one arm and then the other arm. Just keep going, alternating sides again, like you're doing the backstroke. All right, good. Now, assuming you're facing the front of your mat, step 1 foot back and begin to slowly make a circular motion with your front knee. Real slow, like slow motion, kind of slow. And as you make the circle with your front knee, do your best to avoid turning your hips side to side. Just move your hips forward and backward as you make this circle with your knee so you rotate your thigh within the hip socket. And then go the other direction. Nice and slow. Okay, then change sides. Now, even though you're focusing on making that circle with your knee, this is really more about your hip and your ankle. As I mentioned, you rotate your thigh within the hip socket when you make these circles. Now go the other direction, as well as really mobilizing your ankle joint. All right, good. Now, bring your palms together and make a circular motion with your hands. And when the backs of your hands are together, give a little pressure and reverse it. Go the other direction. Now, shake out your hands. Shake your hands like they're wet and you're trying to dry them off. Yep. And once you begin to shake your hands, also begin to bounce a little bit, do a little bouncing motion. Okay, good. Now balance on 1 foot. So let's say lift your right foot off the floor. Find your balance first. Focusing your eyes, of course, will help. And then make a circular motion with your right toes so you mobilize your ankle again. And then change directions. Great. Change sides and change directions. Okay, good. Bring both feet down. And now make a circle with your chin. So bring your chin down and then move your chin toward one shoulder. Lift your chin up, chin toward the other shoulder, and then down again. And then reverse it. All right, now there's one more of these mobilizations. This one's a little more challenging, the step over. So if you have a really hard time balancing, of course, be near something like a table or tall chair or tall dog that you can hold on to. And then go ahead and lift your left knee forward and up. And then bring your left knee out to the side. And finally, bring your left knee back in space as far as you can. And then bring your left knee forward and up, out to the side, and then back. So you're making a big circular motion with your left knee. As I mentioned, use your hand or hands however you need for balance. Now reverse it and go the other direction. Okay, good. Change sides. Big circular motion with your right knee. Don't forget to bring it back in space as best you can. And reverse it. All right, good. Then bring both feet to the floor. Have your feet about hip width. And let's begin to focus more on our breathing now. So let's begin with Ujjayi pranayama by lightly engaging your throat like you're narrowing a valve, which will help you to lengthen the breath. When you exhale, engage your lower abdomen, lift your pelvic floor. And as you inhale, see if you can get the low part of your rib cage to expand. Maybe 5 seconds on the way in, 5 seconds on the way out, or something like that. Breathing through your nose, but now hearing the breath move in and out of your throat like it's your mantra. Okay, keep breathing this way. Focus your eyes on one spot on the floor again. The next time you inhale, sweep your arms up, lift off your heels, balance on your toes, and touch your shoulders. And then exhale down at the same time. Have your heels touch the floor and your palms touch your thighs. And then repeat. Inhale, arms up, balance on your toes, and touch your shoulders. Exhale down, same time. Heels touch the floor, palms touch your thighs. Try that 5 more times. Inhale up, exhale down. Stretching the breath so it lasts just a little bit longer than the movement does. Now, the next time you exhale, just go halfway down. Bring your heels and your arms halfway down. And then inhale all the way back up. Now exhale all the way down. Let's repeat. Inhale, arms up, balance on your toes and touch your shoulders. And then exhale just halfway down. Inhale all the way up. And now exhale all the way down. And try that a couple more times. Okay, fantastic. Once your heels are down this time, let's take a few breaths here. Okay, we've mobilized lots of our joints. We haven't affected our spine too much yet, so let's begin to work on that. We're going to do these clamshells, we're going to call them, with our arms. So we're going to move our arms, but think more about moving our spine. So it's kind of like a standing version of cat-cow. When you exhale, I'm going to ask you to flex your spine. When you inhale, I'm going to ask you to extend your spine. So this movement's happening in addition to the arm movements we're doing. Okay, so just interlace your fingers behind your head. And as you inhale, imagine you're opening the clamshell and extend your spine. So you lengthen the area between your sternum and navel. Now, as you exhale, imagine you're closing the clamshell and flex your spine. So you shorten that area between your sternum and navel. So inhale here, exhale here. Maybe 5 or 6 more times. Great. Now we're getting a little side stretching in there too. So once you've opened the clamshell, the next time you exhale, just lift one elbow up and look up so you get a side stretch. And then inhale back to the center, then this exhale stretch to the other side. Just go a little side to side that way. Whenever you inhale, you're in the center. When you exhale, you lift one elbow up as high as you can. Pull the other elbow down, by the way, so you open this side of your rib cage. And after a few times, stay on one side. So pick one side, stay there, look up. Take a few full, smooth breaths here. Okay, then back to the center and change sides. All right, then relax your arms down by your sides. Let's do a little twisting now, or rotation of the spine. So again, assuming you're facing the front edge of your mat. Next time you inhale, sweep your arms up, bring your palms to touch and look up. Then as you exhale, turn your shoulders to the right and look toward that wall behind you. And then when you inhale, bring your arms back up as you untwist. And now exhale and turn your shoulders to the left and look back. Let's try a few more of those. Inhale here and exhale as you twist. Now, if you want to make it a little more interesting, when you exhale and twist, also bend your knees a little bit. So as I turn my shoulders, I'm going to bend my knees as well as I exhale. And then inhale, straighten your knees, untwist. Next time you exhale, bend your knees again, turn your shoulders to the other direction. So get a little knee bending in there as you twist. All right, once you've gone to both sides, then bring your arms down. Take a few more breaths here. And just one more standing warm up. We're going to incorporate a couple things that clamshell with our arms, but also a squat. So again, feet about hip width. Have your toes pointing forward toward the front edge of your mat. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Inhale here, open your chest and rib cage. Now as you exhale, imagine you're closing the clamshell, but also bend your knees into a squat. And as you inhale, stand back up. Open your chest and rib cage. As you exhale, close the clamshell, bend your knees into a squat. Let's try 5 or 6 more of those at your own pace. Inhale here. Exhale here. All right, good. Then bring your arms down. Now let's go ahead and lean forward. Bring your hands to the floor and let your knees bend as much as you need to so you can get your hands to the floor. Relax your neck, allow the weight of your head to decompress your spine. Smooth out your breath here if necessary. Okay, now shoot your right foot way back into a lunge. Then bring your hands to the inside of your left foot into a laser lunge. And just make some movements with your hips again. Check out this first deep lunge, let's call it. Then change sides. So step your right foot forward to the outside of your right hand and shoot your left foot back for the lizard lunge. Make some movements with your hips. Check out this side. Okay, let's step back to down dog and just continue here with some kneeling salutations next. Inhale, rock forward to all fours. Extend your spine. So like earlier, you lengthen the area between your sternum and navel. Then exhale back to child's pose, engaging your abdomen on the way back. Now inhale, sweep your arms up, open the fronts of your hips. Then exhale back into child's pose. Inhale back to your hands and knees. Lift your chest. Look forward. Then exhale back into dog pose. Let's do it again. Inhale to all fours. Extend your spine. Exhale to child's pose. Tighten your abdomen. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Open the fronts of your hips. Exhale back into child's pose. Inhale up to all fours. And then exhale back to dog pose. Let's go through a few more kneeling salutes on your own at your own pace. Like earlier, focus on stretching the breath. so it lasts just a little bit longer than the movement does. And this next time you're in down dog, stay there. It might feel good to pedal your feet back and forth a little bit and or shift your hips a little bit side to side. Okay, let's come back down to all fours and just do some bird dogs next. Now, from your hands and knees, focus your eyes on one spot on the floor. Then, when you're ready here, lift your right arm and your left leg up. Good. Now, chances are when you lifted them up, you kind of shifted your hips to the right. See if you could recenter your hips. And then next time you exhale, bring your hand and knee to the floor again. And now change sides. Lift your left arm and right leg up. Recenter your hips. And then come back to all fours. Now let's keep going. But as always, I'm going to ask you to focus on lifting the opposite arm and leg at the exact same time and bringing them down at the exact same time. Okay, so inhale here. Exhale when you return to table pose. Keep going. Keep your eyes focused, which will help with balance. And as I mentioned a couple of times already, do your best to keep your hips centered. Avoid shifting your hips to a side when you do that lifting up. All right, now when we get back to that first side, let's stay up. So right arm and left leg up. Right arm, left leg up. And really push into the floor with your left hand, especially the base knuckle of your index finger, even the base knuckle of your thumb. Try to push the floor away. Now stay here and keep your balance. If you want more challenge, make that circular motion again with your left knee. So just stay completely still and keep your balance, or mobilize your left hip again like we did earlier. Now, if you're making that circle, go the other direction as well. Okay, good. Now change that. Left arm and right leg up. Keep your balance. Push the floor away with your right hand. If you want more challenge, make the circular motion with your right knee. And go both directions. Okay, good. Then relax. And let's just sit back in a child's pose. If your news about shoulder width in child's pose, and then focus on breathing into your back, like you're breathing into the area behind your heart. Okay, then if you're not already, stretch your hands forward and just kind of walk your hands over to the left as you keep sitting back towards your heels. So you feel a stretch in the right side of your torso. And then breathe into the right side of your rib cage as if you could breathe more into your right lung. Now change sides. Walk your hands over toward the right side of your mat. Breathe into the left side of your rib cage and your left lung. Right back to the side. Now slide forward right in the crocodile pose. Once you're in the crocodile, really focus on filling your entire torso with breath. Fill your torso with breath. As if your torso is a vessel and you're filling it, not with wine or water, but with breath. All right, then from here, bend your knees. As you bend your knees, do your best to keep resisting your hips down into the floor. And then make circles with your shins, like it's the crocodile wagging its tail. And go both directions. Okay, now we'll do the crocodile frog combo. Bring your left knee out to the side. So your left knee is at a 90-degree angle with your toes pointing out to the left. And again, try to keep your hips down as best you can. Chances are your left hip will lift up, but you keep it down as best you can. And then lift your left foot and ankle up and down off the floor a few times. Keep your knee down, but lift your foot and ankle so you actively internally rotate this thigh and hip. And then ask that foot and ankle to hover off the floor for a few breaths. Good. Now change sides. Slide your right knee out to the side at about a 90-degree angle. Try to keep your right hip down, though, and then lift your right foot and ankle up and down. And then ask it to hover. All right, leg down. Slide your legs together again. And let's come into sphinx pose now. So you're on your forearms, elbows under your shoulders. Grip with your hands and see if you can pull your rib cage away from your hips. Create more length. And once you create some length, again, keep your hips down, but bend your knees and make some circles again. Both directions. Oh, okay, now the side scorpion. Bring your left arm out to the side, palm down. Roll to your left and bring your right foot someplace near your left hand over there and split your legs. So move your feet away from each other like you're in a lunge as well. Change sides. Good. Back to the center. And finally, the return to Sphinx. Or if it feels good, lift into a bigger cobra or upward facing dog. Any one of those three are good. It might feel good to also turn your shoulders a bit side to side. Okay, then last time back to down dog. And this time in downward facing dog, press your thighs back a little bit further. Okay, let's come back down to all fours. Now just cross your ankles, have a seat. Stretch your right leg forward, but bend your left knee and use your hands to massage your left foot. Wake up all its little joints. Get change sides. Okay, let's come into boat pose next. Let's start with this version of boat where you hold your legs, you just lean back and lift your feet off the floor. Now from here, while you're still holding your legs, really tighten your abdomen. So you think about shortening that area between your sternum and navel again just a little bit so you really feel your abdominal muscles engage. Now feel free to stay here, or of course you could try with no hands and or straighten your legs. Any one of those three are good for this boat pose variation or the boat pose variation of your choice for the next 30 seconds. If you don't feel the engagement in your in your abdomen anymore, and you're not holding your legs, then hold your legs again so you do feel that. Make that the priority. You feel this tighten, not just your hips tighten. Okay, good. Bring your feet down. Have your feet about the width of your mat. Lean back on your hands so you can decompress your spine a little bit here and then do some windshield wipers. When you inhale, bring your knees up. When you exhale, drop them to a side. Now, if you want to add a little side stretching here, when you drop your knees to your left, reach with your right arm and lift your hips. You can keep your knees down, but lift your hips so you get a big side stretch. Then have a seat again and change sides. If that bothers your wrist or your shoulder, if it hurts, bothers anything, of course, you could skip this part. Okay, then next time you drop your knees to your left, keep them there. Sit up a good 90-90 position, and then do a little twist with your hands or your forearms on the floor outside your left thigh. Okay, unwind and change sides. Drop your knees to your right, sit up a good 90-90, and then twist. All right, then unwind. Stretch both legs forward and sit up nice and tall in staff pose. Nice and tall in Dandasana or staff pose. Now, from here, once you're here, I should say, think about resisting your inner thighs down toward the floor. Press your palms or your fists down to the floor as well, but at the same time, lift your sternum up. So think about hands going down, sternum lifting up. So sit really tall. Take a few breaths. We'll do the inchworm next. Really good for strengthening the sides of your core. So now take your hands off the floor and have your thumbs on your sternum so you avoid swinging your arms. But now lift your left hip up and shift it forward, and then lift your right hip up and shift it forward. So you slowly inch forward, side by side, really fueling the movement from deep in your core until you run out of room. When you run out of room up there, then throw it in reverse. Do the same thing backwards. Keep going. Forward again. I have an extra long mat, so it takes me a little bit longer. But let's end up at the front of your mat. You're like your heels at the front of your mat. Whew, finally. All right, friends. It's time to work on our stand-ups. I know this is a gentle class, so and these can be a little bit more challenging, but man, it's for everyone super important to be able to get up and down off the floor gracefully. I think that's the key word, gracefully or fluidly. There's a number of ways to do it. My preferred way is we call it a technical stand-up. I'm going to bend my right knee. So right knee is up and right hand is up. Now you can have your hand hovering off this knee for more challenge. You can have your hand on your knee or your forearm on your thigh for a little more support. So right knee is up, right hand is up, left hand is down, but have a lot of space between your left hand here and your right foot up there. A lot of space, even back here if you need. Because now I'm going to ask you to press your right foot down and press your left foot down and step this left foot back. We'll do a couple different options. The first one, when I step my left foot back, I'm going to bring my left knee to the floor. Now come into like a low lunge here, and then you can use your hands on your front thigh if you need extra support. Stand up. And then reverse it. Step your left foot back. Throw it back relatively far. Softly bring your left knee down. Now, since your left knee is down, bring your left hand down as well. So remember, on each side, your hand kind of mirrors that same side knee. So left knee is down, left hand's going to come down now too. I'm going to windshield wiper my left shin here so I can just slide it through and have a seat again. And then we'll change sides. Left hand and left knee up, right hand down. Allow space between opposite hand and foot. Lift up, bring your right knee to the floor into a low lunge, and then stand up. Reverse it. Take a relatively big step back with your right foot. Softly bring your right knee down. Since right knee is down, right hand comes down as well. Like a windshield wiper with this right shin, turn it in, slide it through, and have a seat. Let's try again. Right hand, right knee up. Step your left foot back. Knee down. Stand up. Maybe don't use your hands for a little extra challenge. Step your left foot back. Bring your knee down. Left knee is down, so left hand down. Slide your left leg through. You'll feel your core engage. Change sides, left hand and left knee up. Step your right foot back. No hands. Now, if you want still more challenge, when you stand up this time, go back to that balancing pose we did at the very beginning of class. Lift up and bring your right foot forward. Keep your balance, Jim. Step back. Right knee down, right hand down. Slide her through. All right, just try a few more of those on your own at your own pace. As I mentioned, I know they're challenging, so if you're having a difficult time, that's okay. You need to just practice, and it gets easier. All right, then once you've mastered both sides, bring the soles of your feet together for the butterfly. And just sit up nice and tall. Smooth out your breath again. And then begin to lean forward over your feet. Great. Let's lay down, do a little bridging next. Okay. So with the bridge today, let's focus on lifting our hips as we exhale and just keeping your arms down by your sides. So when you exhale next, press your feet down, engage your glutes, and press your hips up. So you open the fronts of your hips. And then as you inhale, slowly lower your hips again. Exhale as you push your hips up. Exhale as you slowly lower your hips down. Try that 5 or 6 more times. And then keep your hips up in bridge pose. Take 5 or 6 breaths here. All right, then lower your hips and draw your knees into your chest. Just make some circles with them so you massage your lower back on the floor a bit. Go both directions. And then do whichever supine twist you enjoy. Whatever twist on your back that feels good. And change sides. All right, pull your knees in and then take a minute to do whatever it feels like you need to do to make yourself super comfortable for corpse pose. Now let's get really comfortable. Okay, once you have settled in, allow the floor to take your body weight. Relax your jaw, soften your eyes, even release your breath so you're not shaping it or controlling it. Not really practicing pranayama right now, but continue with your pratyahara. So you're drawing your awareness and your senses inward, observing on the inside like you're observing someone else. All right, begin to lengthen your exhale, deepen your inhale, and take the next minute or so to work yourself back up to seated and now into any comfortable seated posture. And then let's just do a few short rounds of kapalabhati next. So this first round, rest your hands in your lap or on your knees, whichever is more comfortable, and sit up nice and tall. Then do 36 kapalabhati breaths. And after 36, take a deep ujjayi inhale, and then pause, retain the breath in. Just practice being really still. And once it feels like you need to exhale, then just allow yourself to breathe freely again. Okay, for the next round of 36, bring your arms up, interlace your fingers, and press your palms toward the ceiling. After 36, arms down, deep breath in, then pause. Find that stillness again. And for the last 36, arms up, bend your elbows and touch your shoulders. After 36, arms down, deep breath in, then pause. And this time, once you've exhaled, if it feels like you need to change the cross of your legs or adjust your seat in any way, take care of that. And then practice jiva mudra by bringing the tip of your tongue to touch the roof of your mouth. Then slide it forward so the tip of your tongue touches the gum line where the roof of your mouth and your front teeth meet. And then focus all of your awareness on the sensation that breath is creating when it's rising and falling through both nostrils. Just be really aware of the sensation that breath creates as it's rising and falling through both nostrils. If you notice one nostril is more open than the other, shift your awareness and just begin to focus on the breath rising and falling through the less active side. See if you could fine tune your awareness so much that the only thing you sense is the breath rising and falling through the less active nostril. All right, then bring your palms together to Anjali Mudra and take one last moment to enjoy the peace you've created through the practice. And create a little heat in your hands. Once you built some heat, rest your hands over your eyes, feel it moving in, recharging your senses, and take one last slow, smooth breath in here. When you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed class. Have a fantastic day. Please continue to help us spread the word about our on-demand site and our app. Let me know if you want to go on the Portugal retreat in September. Have a great day, and I hope I get to see you again soon.